Sit. Back. Sit. Back. One. Sit. Here. Back. One. Easy. Heel. Sit. Easy. Back. Get down. One. Get down. Sit. Come on, let's go. Heel. Sit. Heel. Sit down. Sit. Back. Sit. Let's go. Hold. Sit. Heel. Sit. Easy. Go on, get them. Hold. Drop. Heel. Sit. Heel. Back. Sit.
All right, good evening, everyone. It is February 19th, Thursday, 7 o'clock, right on the nose, starting our live conversation here on the channel. I want to thank you all for, well, 3 of you anyway, for checking it out. We got a little more information to pass along your way. Getting better at this week by week, working out some of the bugs with the new software and getting the laptop to talk to the switcher, to talk to the microphone, and a lot going on with just me in front of the camera and doing all the extra work as well. So again, hello and good evening, and welcome to Black Blizzard Retrievers. My name is Mike Hurd. This is my channel. I try and do amateur first content. I've been putting out quite a few videos over the last month and a half, since the 1st of January. And look at this, it has paid off. I have 606 subscribers. I think it's 606 or 607 rather, as of this evening. I made this graphic this morning, so wow, thank you all. We've gained over 100 subs in just the last several weeks. So that has been, wow, just really impressive. And again, I'm busting my butt here trying to put a lot of content out and good training concepts and information, and both related to hunt tests and field trials, but just dog training in general. And again, with the amateur first mentality. So it's all for you. And again, I'm showing you some of my struggles that I've had with some of my dogs and some of the things I'm going to be doing. And wait till you see Sunday's course number 3. It's a big topic, and we'll come back to that here in just a bit. So let's get into some of the news. Try and present some news information along the way once a week. And I tried to do this last week and I failed miserably, and I apologize, but we're going to go back to this topic because I believe I have the bugs worked out, and taking a look at some new regulations that are going into effect starting in January 2026 with regarding to American Kennel Club hunt tests and field trials. And the first one is a PDF right here before you, and it's a disqualification by judge across both retriever tests and trials. And basically, you come down here to the very bottom line, and you'll read underlined scoring here. Let me zoom in just a little bit. It basically says a disqualification received in a retriever field trial counts as one disqualification in both the field trial and hunt test games. So I believe what that means, if you get on the naughty list, you can't play either game, and probably can't play any games with related to the American Kennel Club. So again, this is on the website. I'll try and leave a link in the comments where you can find these PDFs. But again, it's just a big long paragraph there that you can see, and that's a new rule that came out in January. All right, let's take a look. I got to zoom out here just a little bit. This is the next one, and this one is all about hunt tests. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in without screwing this up. Here, I know what I can do. Make this fit. There we go. All right, so this came out in January 2026 as well, and the subject here is judges must score all abilities. Added description of master level dog, timing of qualification ribbons. So there's a lot of going on in this document here, but you come down to Chapter 4 Standards for Junior, Senior, and Master Tests of Section 2 of Chapter 4. And it's basically saying the stuff that's underlined is what's new. And if you come over, well, basically it says the judges shall score the dogs on their natural abilities and must provide a score from 0 to 10 on these 4 abilities. It's marking, style, perseverance, and trainability. And you come down to the bottom and underscore here, it says these scores for each of the 4 abilities must be represented on each dog's score sheet called the hunting test evaluation form, as found below. So you can see below down here, this is the evaluation form. And these fields all have to be filled in. And there's scoring for marks and blinds, and then you average those scores out. And again, you have to have an overall average score of 7 or higher to get a qualification. Some judges don't fill in this part, and trust me, I judge a lot, and I believe that this is a good rule, that we need to fill all this in, because what we're also doing is, in a judge's book, we're not just filling in this part of the judge's book, we're also drawing out what your dog has done. So we're drawing out diagrams, and then the next dog comes up, then the next dog comes up, and things are happening too quick that sometimes we just need to say, hey, time out, I need 10, 15 seconds so I can fill in the numbers. So when things get going pretty quick, it's something that can be missed, but something that needs to be done before you move on to the next series. And then coming down to, paragraph or part 3, evaluation of scoring a dog's ability. And basically what this is saying is that if you don't fill this out, you're going to get your hand slapped as judges. So a judge that is found with incomplete scores on a judge's score sheet or evaluation form may be subject to a fine or disciplinary action. If a judge receives negative observation report for incomplete scoring, refusing to score all abilities, or not judging to the standard in cases where the regulations are clear, attendance of another seminar may be required before you can have another judging assignment. And if you get a strike 2, then you may be revoked from judging altogether. All right, then moving down to Chapter 5, Test Requirements for Junior, Senior, Master, Section 7 regarding the Master Test. And they got them labeled 10, 11, and 12. So 10, a Master dog should have 1 clean triple marking series, not handled on any mark, in a 3-series weekend. That's a big one, because some of our tests, so for example, some tests have like a double blind, so you may get a double mark, a double blind, and a diversion bird, and that's not a triple. So if that's the 3rd series and you handled on 2 of those, on the first 2s were triples, you may not get a passing score because you don't have a clean triple. So you need to pay attention to that. All right, coming down to 11 in parentheses, a master dog that is clearly out of the area of a fall and running at length should be graded 0 on marking. And then number 12 is a master dog should make continuous progress towards a blind retrieve. Acceptable reasons for a dog not progressing would be occurrences warranting a dog being brought back towards a handler, such as a dog going beyond the blind and needs to come back, or a dog being brought back to be seen, and a dog being brought back to either go over something, go between something as designated by the judges. All right, so there's a little more clarification on. So what does that mean? Like going over log, or you have to go between 2 bushes, or whatever. I mean, there could be a million reasons that the judge can stipulate the line to the blind. And then, let's see. Chapter 1, General Regulations, Section 20. That takes us down to the bottom of the screen here. It basically says, or at the option of the host club, the timing of when qualifying ribbons are awarded can be changed to following a dog's run, so long as it is clear from the judges the dog qualified. Clubs utilizing this option should let the judges know in advance or of the event, and if it must be stated clearly in the premium list. I'm telling you right now, I hate that. I absolutely 100% hate that. Not only from a judge's standpoint, but from someone who has been a field trial hunt test chairman and marshal. Judges need to talk over the rule book before they hand out anything. And I know my club will not be doing that, so that may save you a few minutes of time, but if you're in such a hurry to get out of there after your dog runs, then just tell the marshal, slip him $5 and we'll mail you the ribbon. That's not a big deal. All right, let's go on to the next one. Let's see if I can zoom out here. This one came out in 2025 in May. And basically, I just wanted to touch on this subject a little bit, that basically amateurs in the amateur set-aside on Tuesdays, before it opens to everyone else, you can get on the amateur set-aside, but if you have more than 3 dogs, you can only enter three dogs on the amateur set-aside. And then it's you're done. Okay, you have to wait until it opens to everybody else, and I think that's going to be a challenge for most clubs to kind of look at that strictly and figure out how that's handled. I'm not sure if Entry Express handles that or how that works. Interesting, but I wonder if you could have a workers code and then enter 3 other dogs or something. I don't know, but I'm sure there's more to it than that. All right, let's get into some other news, starting with the Master National. They came out with a message today, and the foundation names Handler of the Year, and you can see her and her dog there. So we want to congratulate Kirsten Ingram there, and there's a nice little write-up there on all the data, so congratulations there. That's a beautiful thing. And I strongly encourage everyone to stop by the Master National Retriever Club website and take a look at that information. That's a beautiful thing. And let's talk about some Master Amateur details. I just posted this on the Master Amateur Facebook today. Campgrounds and recreation sites. So if you're trying to go to the Master Amateur Invitational in Stoughton, Wisconsin, on the website are the hotels that you can make reservations to. But if you're pulling an RV and you want to camp, and these are some of the campgrounds that are nearby, and there was one comment down below there that asking if anyone knows the best one or the closest one or whatever. But leave a comment if you're staying at one of these campgrounds and let the rest of us know which ones you're going to stay at, and if you have any recommendations or not. Okay, so take a look at that, and again, that's on the Facebook page. But go to masteramateur.com and again look at the 2026 Master Amateur Invitational, and there's a lot more detailed information about the event there. So that takes care of most of the news. Let's get into taking a look at, again, some of the content that I've been putting out over the last couple of weeks. And first and foremost, my website, that's up and running. It has been for quite a while now, and I want to thank everyone for checking that out. I've had about a handful of you. I think if you come down here to the bottom there, again, I built this website and it's mainly for businesses, but some of the stuff I may or may not use, but it's to join the pack, and if you put your name in there, that's great. I think there are 4 or 5 of you that have done so. I'm just not ready to hit the trigger on some stuff that I have planned in the future, but again, that should be coming, and it's probably going to be something I do through the website. But go to the training section on the website here, and of course there's some write-ups on my dogs and my background, but here's some of the links to some of the YouTube videos that I have. But of course, always stop by my YouTube channel. Speaking of that, here it is. The YouTube channel has a lot of has over 300 videos, and again, over 600 subscribers. As of this morning, it was 607 as of this evening. The popular videos are sitting here on top. These are the ones with the most views. And I recorded my time in 2022 at the Master National over there in Oregon. And this is one of the higher viewed content I have on the channel. There are several other videos from Master Nationals. I did also record some content, the one prior, see, that would have been 2021. That would have been in Idaho, McCall, Idaho. Some of those videos are on there. And of course, there is a ton of Master Amateur, both live stream videos and other videos from other events. And I've been doing that off and on here for, gosh, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. A lot of great content. Again, over 300 videos. Let's take a look. Let me click on that. So the videos I've been putting out this week, starting as of yesterday, I had a chance, actually had a gal, this gal here you see in the video, expressed interest in what I was doing and wanted to thank me for putting out the videos. She lives in Australia. I was blown away, just totally blown away. So I said, after talking to her on Facebook a little bit and then finally just talking to her, period, I said, I got to do a podcast with you. It's been a while since I've done the Amateur Retriever podcast, so sure enough, we set up a time and I recorded it last weekend and I finally got that edited and up, and that's on the channel right now. But some of the things highlighted in that conversation, that podcast, they do in Australia that they don't do in the United States. So one of the things is that it's kind of a small niche mentality in Australia. So it's not like it is in the United States. There's not nearly as many people running these retriever events in Australia. So it's all amateurs. There's no professionals. So they are hungry for content. And I was surprised by that. She also told me that e-collars are outlawed as well as prong collars are outlawed in Australia. And I was like, ooh, how are you guys training that? I mean, that sets up a whole nother degree of difficulty when you try and train for their events. And one of the other things that blew me away is that they have to hold a gun the entire time they're running marks and blinds. And they're collecting game. They're break-open guns, but they have to hold on to that gun the entire time. And they have to put dogs in remote position. So they'll come out of a holding blind, walk a dog, and put that dog in a remote position where it's hidden. Then they actually walk, it looked like 30 to 50 yards away, and that dog has to sit there and wait. And then they shoot, they fire a gun, and then they call the dog to them, and then they run a blind. So that was like, whoa. I mean, that's a whole level of hardness. I mean, that can be difficult to train, especially when you don't have an e-collar to help you with that. And the other thing that I was just couldn't believe, they have a mixed bag of birds. Sometimes they get some kind of ducks and they get some feral pigeons, which is not a big deal. But then they have rabbits. They have rabbits on blinds. And it was like, ooh, wow. I mean, it's bad enough that we have ducks and pheasants, but to add ducks, pheasants, and rabbits, I mean, whoa. Goodness. So, yeah, interesting conversation. So check that out. Right now it's got about 80-some views. It's not growing as much as the other videos have, but it's a great conversation. If you want to see how folks do it in different parts of the world, again, check that one out. They have a lot going on in Australia, and I was really impressed with the conversation I had with her. All right, so back on Sunday, we had course number 2 come out, and this is what you see here, the reality of retriever training. I talk about the natural ability myth, finished dog fallacy, the e-collar reality check, and hunt test versus hunting. There's a lot of great content there, and when I was researching that subject, I came across some of these items, and I thought, that would be a great point to make, because I don't do some of these things. I don't typically hunt my dogs, but I run a lot of hunt tests and field trials. And the reason I don't hunt my dogs is because hunting is complete chaos, and they learn extremely bad habits, and that's just not what I want, and I don't want to take the chance of them getting hurt. So that's my reasons for not doing that. But again, for new folks getting into the game, there's some great tips and thought-provoking topics that you need to pay attention to, because it's not just about the pedigree. You could have a fantastic pedigree, and I've got a couple fantastic pedigrees, but that doesn't guarantee you're going to have a finished dog or a dog that runs at a higher level. You got to put in the work. All right, then right to the right of that is the video I put out last Friday. Don't blow it now, the week before a hunt test. How are you training the week before a hunt test? The do's and don'ts. The 6 to 7 days out, 5 to 6 days out, 3 to 4 days out, 2 days out, 1 day out. Some great advice for especially new folks getting into the game. This is the time you want to protect the dog, not try and teach new things. And there's a lot of great tips and information to go along in that video. And so far, that's gaining some pretty good traction. And again, that just went up back on last Friday. So speaking of Friday videos, my next video, which I can't get to from here, that comes out tomorrow, but it's a topic that your dog made a mistake. Okay, your dog made a mistake during the hunt test. What are you going to do? So you run your first series. Your dog screwed up something, and thankfully you're back for the next series. And depending on whether it's a junior or senior, you only have one more series to run, but if it's master, you got 2 more series to run. So you made a mistake mid-test. Here's my advice on what to do and what not to do. It's a great topic because it's one of those things that you probably don't think about before you enter a hunt test. So there's a lot of great topics and content with that video. I'm going to have the next course coming out on Sunday, and it's a big subject. It's something I am struggling with right now myself. Kind of going back to line manners, I have a line manners video out already, but this is going into a deep dive on that subject. Because I have a dog that the line manners are fair, but it's the noise I'm working with. And line manners and noise kind of go hand in hand. So I'm kind of working through that process. And I'm really struggling with it. And I said, all right, enough of that BS. I'm going to buckle down. And it's something I highlighted in the video. I am not only putting that content out for everyone out there in the retriever world, I'm putting that content out there for me to come back to and say, all right, I'm putting my feet to the fire. I'm going to make sure I get a handle on this over the next 6 to 12 months, if not longer, before I do anything with my youngest dog. He's a fantastic animal. He's a great marking little bugger. He had a fairly decent derby career last summer, and this was something that cropped up last winter as well. And some days I get him out and he will not shut up. And there's other days I get him out, he's quiet as a church mouse. So it's one of those incredibly frustrating things. There's a couple of drills I put in that video. One I call it's a do nothing woosa drill, and I got some videos on the channel on that. But it's a tremendous amount of obedience and to work on just some basic obedience and line manners issues. But it's also something I'm working on to work on the noise. And trust me, it's going to take a miracle if I can get that dog to come through it. Hopefully I can. And it's a video that I'm putting out on Sunday, but it's also something I'm going to be coming back to over and over again and putting up updates and showing you some of the things that I'm struggling with. And hopefully my struggles will help you out there in the retriever world. So that's another great video I have. And I got a lot of other things coming down the line, and one of the things I put a lot of time, energy, and effort to making all these videos, but I also put in a lot of money to put into equipment. I bought microphones, wireless microphones. A lot of the stuff I shoot out in the field is on my Galaxy S23, which has got some great pro features on it. And it shoots incredible video. I'm really tickled to death with that, but I got a lot of other little odds and ends here that's, causing to drain the bank account. So I created a Patreon page, and I'm going to be building a membership section out of this at some point. Right now, don't worry about the right-hand side. It's just something I built. But the left-hand side is a tip jar. If you find value in anything that I put out there, please stop by my Patreon page. And the link is on the Black Blizzard Retriever YouTube page. So if you come up to where it says Black Blizzard Retrievers, and then right below that, you can see a Patreon link. There's a Patreon link right there. So please slap $20 in the tip jar once a month, and it'll help offset a little bit of the costs that I'm incurring to put these videos together. Now, the other thing I have on the YouTube channel, I did put out a poll. Only about 11 of y'all have been commenting on it or voting one way or the other. You have 3 options to vote, but it's basically retriever training winger preferences. And I did a video, not too long ago, about a month ago, on equipment, and one of the videos was on wingers. So you have 3 options when it comes to wingers: a slinger winger, a gunners up winger, and a zinger winger. Right now I've got 11 votes in there, which is a far cry from really getting a good handle on what most folks are doing. But right now it's tied between slinger and gunners up, but it's a very, very close third for zinger. I own 2 gunners up and 1 zinger winger. I don't know anything about slingers. I have friends in my training group that have slinger wingers. I have seen them. I have used them in the field. One of the things I really, really like about a slinger winger is how the primer is mounted on that winger. It's incredibly easy to get that thing in and out, the old shell and the new shell. The gunners up and the zinger wingers, man, sometimes I got to bring a pocket knife out with me, and I'm trying to carve a niche into the bottom of those things, trying to get those stupid shells to come out, and that's a pain in the butt. But Gunners Up is a winger company that highly supports the Hunting Retriever Club, and I know our club has, God, I don't know, 12 or 15 of the darn things when we run our HRC events. And Zinger Winger, God bless them, they are a fantastic partner for the Master Amateur Invitational. We get all of our wingers for our events from them, and then we sell them at the end to try and recoup some of the expenses. So, I mean, there's a lot of good things from all these winger companies. I got nothing but good things to say about all of them. The only thing I wish, I really, really wish, is that the Bumper Boys that I have, I wish Bumper Boy was still in business. A lot of people wish Bumper Boy was still in business. It's a crying shame. I was just fortunate enough to get my hands on 3 Derby doubles. Now, the original electronics failed on those a long time ago, and I converted them over to regular servos and able to put them with my Dogtra's remotes, and I can use them that way. But I love those things to death because I got 2 dogs, so I can get 2 shots per marking station instead of putting out 2 wingers, hauling that thing all the way out there 300 yards, and then going out and reloading it and then hauling it back. Those wingers are heavy. But when it comes to the Bumper Boys, they're easy to put out. And I know there's similar ones out there, but again, I've got 3 Bumper Boys, and they're probably never going to disintegrate. I mean, the mechanics part of them have been solid, and I've had no issues that way. It's just the electronics. I did have a friend of ours, an old club member who's basically done doing the dog thing. She did give me, and I don't have it with me, but maybe on the next live I'll have it with me. But I have an original transmitter to a Bumper Boy. I don't have the receiver for it, but I have a transmitter. If you want that transmitter, hit me up. Give me a digital message here on Facebook or on the YouTube channel, and let's talk. And I'll probably give it to you for $50 or something like that because it looks pristine. I don't think she ever even used the darn thing. There's no damage to them at all, to that transmitter. I don't know if you can take that transmitter and hook it up to an original Bumper Boy receiver and have it work. I'm not sure if there's some programming that needs to go into that, but if anyone's looking for that, hook me up, man. Hit me up online here, and let's talk about that because that money will just get thrown back into the kitty for, again, some of the equipment that I've got purchased here for this channel. All right, so I'm hoping to do this once a week, kind of update some retriever news that's going on around the country week by week. If you have any news to share with us, let me know. I mean, send me an email. Go to my website. There's an email address there. Send me an email, and I'll try and get that on. If you have an event coming up that you're trying to get judges for, or trying to get people to attend, etc. Week by week, we're going to try and crank out a live show here every Thursday night at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, Mountain Standard Time right now, but that's going to change here in a couple of weeks to Mountain Daylight Time. Again, my name is Mike Hurd. I'm with Black Blizzard Retrievers. I have been training retrievers for since 1990, so was that 36 years? Done a lot. I've had a lot of great dogs. I've had a lot of shitty dogs too, but I've had a lot of good dogs, and I got a lot of experience. Was incredibly fortunate to spend about 10 to 15 years with professional retriever trainer Bill Totten. Almost daily we'd be training. Again, I was an amateur then, but I have never been a professional, but I am an amateur. But he taught me a world of information, and he taught me how to train my dog. If you're ever looking for a professional, that would be the first question I'd ever ask the pro. Can I come and train with you? But you need to train me to train my dog. Some pros are way too busy for that. They won't have time for that. Others are very open and willing to do it. And those are the ones that I suggest you reach out to. And yeah, you need to learn more than just dumping your dog off onto a pro. But some of you are too busy to do that, and that's fine. That's what professionals are for. I have a lot of great professional friends out there in the retriever community. I have nothing but good things to say about them. But if the one recommendation is that if I was going to go to a pro and I didn't know much about it, I would want them to help me train my dog. Okay, enough said about that. All right, everyone, it's pretty damn cold in Montana, so we've been parked at home for the last week. I haven't had a chance to get out and do any videotaping. And I've rambled on for about a half an hour, and I think that's about long enough. So again, thank you for checking us out here on YouTube. Please, I got over 300 videos on this channel. They are wide open for you to watch, and take your time and go through them. And this one coming up on Sunday, you're going to probably watch. I recommend you watch the entire thing from beginning to end. And if you're having trouble with line manners and noise, I'm going to go through about a quarter of the way of the video, and then I want you to make a comment on the bottom in the comment section, because then you're going to watch the rest, and then you're going to comment on your comment on what you learned and how you think you could handle and get a handle on that, and what you think you should do. And you come back to that video over and over again, because there's like 4 or 5 sections to it, and you're going to have to go through section by section by section. And again, that's going to be the 3rd course. I'm probably going to stop putting courses out because I'm going to start to build up a membership channel, and I'm going to try and put that content there. So, all right. So I had about 6 or 7 of you online here, so thank you. And, you know, for those of you that are on, I'd love it if you tap something into the chat window, even if you just say hello, because I want to make sure I've got that programmed right, and I'm not 100% sure I have, because no one has popped in on the chat part of that. And just let me know where you're watching from and what country you're watching from. Some of you might be watching from Australia. If I don't see anybody in the chat window, maybe I'll make a point of that on the next live shot next Thursday, because I want to make sure that's working, because I would love to have some conversations back and forth through the chat window. You leave a comment or a question, and then I can try and respond and reply to that. And nobody's replying, so I'm not sure if that's working quite right. Oh, nope, one right there. All right. Hey, Mike, I really have been enjoying the content down here in Wyoming. All right, awesome. You know, Wyoming is one of those states that I don't think you guys run very much, especially AKC stuff. You might around Cheyenne, if I recall. I know there's some HRC stuff down there, but yeah, because Wyoming's not that far away from Montana, so I'm always looking for things. All right, awesome. Hi, Mike, Eastern Nebraska. Finally getting some snow. Finally getting some snow? Wow. Montana has not been getting any snow at all, and it's very scary right now, the lack of snow we've had so far this winter. In fact, we have been setting nothing but record highs in December, January, early February. This is our first little cold snap that we've had this week. And our biggest fear is that if we don't get a miracle March, Why am I talking about this? Because I'm a broadcast meteorologist. That's what I do for a living. So I'm pretty comfortable in sitting here and talking to you all. If you all didn't know that, I'm the local weather guy, and I get a lot of shit for that when I when I go to hunt test and field trials. Everybody's bugging me about the weather, but if we don't get some serious snow in March, get those spring snowstorms in March and April, man, we're going to be hurting big time for forest fires and sucking smoke, and probably not going to be able to do nearly as much dog training or running events this year in the state of Montana. All right, so thank you. I appreciate you leaving comments out there, fellas. Now that I know that works, because I definitely want to make this a point as we go forward. So right now, these YouTube Lives are only open to those that are subscribers. I haven't made this available open to everybody, and I would really like it to, I don't know, stay that way. I'm not sure if I want to open up to everybody in the whole wide world, because you never know who's going to jump on these things. All right, if you don't have any comments or questions, and that, I think I'm going to wrap it up for this session. This will be recorded and dumped onto the YouTube channel for those members or subscribers that are here and haven't been able to chance to watch, and can later. All right, everybody, I'm done. I'm rambling on. I'm running out of things to say. Thank you again for watching this evening. Again, if there's anything I can help you with, even if I don't know it, I know a lot of professionals and I know a lot of great amateurs, and I can definitely dig into some of the details and find out if you have a training problem or training concern. All right, y'all.